In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make honey fast as a noob. So, yeah. So, what I did was, a couple days ago, I'd say, never macroed too. So, what I did was I had the golden rake. I had golden rake. I'd say, okay, so it depends. Really depends. Because if you are a mixed hive, like right now, like if you have 35 bees or under and you're a mixed hive, which I'd say you should be, just do quests. I'd say just do quests. If you're not and you're going and you already know what hive you're gonna be, once you get to the later levels, or not later levels, but the later like stages in the game, if you're a blue hive, you want to do pine tree. If you're a blue hive, you want to be doing pine tree. Now, if you're a red hive, there's multiple different places you could do, like rose, strawberry, pepper, and even mushroom. Mushroom's the worst though. It also depends on what sprinkler you have to make honey fast. See, if you always want to have a sprinkler. Once you get enough honey to buy a sprinkler, you want to buy a sprinkler. Also, if you want to make honey fast, I'd recommend buying the golden rake. And you should buy either the bubble wand or the scythe. And then you should buy the golden rake, because golden rake is a rake, and so it does 4 little mini areas. Let me show you guys. And so it does 4 little mini areas on the ground. So, for example, let me equip the golden rake. So and every 5 strokes, it does a long rake. And so that's why I recommend golden rake, just because it can get so many spots on the ground. But after golden rake, do not buy spark staff. I repeat, do not buy spark staff. Spark staff is the biggest scam you will ever see. Bro, spark staff is worse than getting scammed on Grow a Garden for a dog when you're trading a raccoon. It's worse. Spark staff, you could probably use a vacuum, like the vacuum, and you'd make more pollen than using the spark staff. So, also, yeah, just don't use spark staff. Beekeeper boots are good because it does 25% more bee gather pollen, and then plus 6 player move speed, more jump height, and then more movement collection, and more bee attack. I'd also recommend you. Okay, so you want to get the beekeeper's mask before you get beekeeper's boots, and here's why. Because you get 20% bee gather pollen, 10% bee ability rate, plus 25% defense, and plus 20% pollen for all types. Mondo belt bag, you don't need it. It's kind of just there. Like, you don't really need it. But after you buy those 2 with the golden rake, you want to buy hive slots, depending on how much they cost. Once the honey gets into, like, I'd say around 100 million is when you want to save up for the porcelain dipper. Let me tell you something. The porcelain dipper is the complete opposite of spark staff. It is the biggest, absolute biggest, it's the greatest thing in mankind, bro. It is huge. It's massive. It is so good. I can't express to you how good this is. What I was making, I'd say maybe 90 million pollen per hour. Not 90 million. I'd say maybe 80 million pollen per hour with the golden rake. I think you could probably make this money back, 150 million, that back within an hour. In like 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. You could make all the honey back. Now, for Porcelain Porto Hive, there's gonna be a hive slot which costs 152 million. And so you want to buy the hive slot there, but then it costs 209 million. And so once the hive slot costs 209 million, that's when you want to save up for the Porcelain Porto Hive. It just gives more white pollen, and then it just gives a lot more capacity. And then you want to buy the glider because it just goes really fast. And then, so that's what gear I would recommend buying. Let's see. What else could you do to make honey faster? Oh, definitely place down planters. You definitely want to place down planters and try to get at least one mythic bee. Try to get a single mythic bee and a bunch of event bees. Since I got Buoyant Bee as my 30th bee, and oh my god, all the mythics are so broken. And then for the event bees, depending on what hive you do. So if you want to be a red hive, you're gonna choose Crimson, which is what I chose. And then if you're a blue hive, you want to do Cobalt. If you're a mixed hive, you could buy both, but you're eventually only gonna use one. So I would buy one, and then if you need to buy the other, you can. After you buy one of these two, they're really cheap for tickets. Buy either Tabby Bee or a Photon Bee. Both of those are amazing choices, and I would recommend buying one of those. After you buy both, I'd recommend trying to get Gummy Bee. Gummy Bee or Vicious Bee. Because Gummy Bee and Vicious Bee are really good. Vicious Bee is an attacker, and then Gummy Bee is self-explanatory. After that, I'm probably gonna get Festive Bee, and then Puppy Bee's kind of trash. Puppy Bee's kind of trash. Buy Puppy Bee last. He's like not good. Also, do not buy any. Do not buy Silver Egg here. Do not buy Gold Egg here. Do not buy Diamond Egg here. Do not buy Mythic Egg. Buy Star Treats. Because what that does is it makes a bee gifted, and depending on what bee you're getting gifted, yeah, you want to do that. Depending on which one you get, you want to get gifted. So Gummy Bee could be a good choice for getting gifted. Although Photon Bee is really good for getting gifted, I'd say. Tabby Bee's good for getting gifted. Vicious Bee's amazing for getting gifted. Crimson Bee getting really good for gifted. And so that's what I'd say. I'd say those are pretty. That's how I got honey pretty fast, but that's just for me. There may be different ways for you. I am not the best player, but hey, I got honey fast, so alright, bye.